A difficult concept to explain is power. The post-colonial lens provides a way to understand power, whether the goals of power are meant to control or elevate. Education is a form of power. George Orwell famously stated, "He who controls the past controls the future, and he who controls the present controls the past." Is the power expressed in policy seeking to force tribal education leaders to become subaltern leaders, or puppets? Power deployed in education to force change? Is the power expressed in policy seeking to gain tribal education leaders' consent, or to become a hegemon? Power deployed in education to rescue individuals from some primitive ill? By 1816, the language of legislation began expressing archetypes that would influence legislation that followed: civilization or extinguishing, ideas of separate property, arts of civilization, savages, pale of civilization. They were facing extermination, expulsion, and utter extinction. Intermarriage as a way of coping. Stereotypes derived from those archetypes were rooted in the Western imagination. Stedman's Shadow of the Indian explored these stereotypes, specifically Pocahontas and Man Friday, which I have interpreted as Tonto.
I'm an Indian, a Cree who grew up in one of the most isolated native communities on Earth, close to the Arctic Circle. Up here, we don't wear feathers or ride horses, but because of the movies, a lot of the world still thinks we do. There is one face that has become an American icon for all that is good about Native people. Hollywood's most famous Indian actor, Iron Eyes Cody.
People start pollution. People can stop it.
But Iron Eyes, like several other Hollywood Indians, lived out his entire life as a fake. His real name was Antonio De Corti, a second-generation Italian from Sicily.
I remember once we were on a set, the director says, I want a real native. I said, I want a real native up front. I want to see the real thing. We couldn't find one.
Scattered throughout North America are summer camps like these, keeping Hollywood's notion of the noble savage alive and well.
I was chosen as a tribe leader as well for the Sioux tribe, which was a great surprise for me and a great honor.
Welcome to the Sioux tribe. We got scouts and braves. Thanks to mighty warriors, never fear defeat. Sioux tribe, Sioux tribe, Sioux tribe, Sioux. Pass the peace, fight the crazy horse. Pass the peace, fight the crazy horse. Pass the peace.
My knowledge isn't that great about natives. I mean, basically, it's from like 2 or 3 movies that I would have watched. But through these movies, I just got the whole mentality of the natives. Gave me a very positive perspective. Like the unity, the family, the unity, how they hold together, like brotherhood.
I wonder if any of these kids have ever met a native person, or if their image of us comes only from the movies. I hope I don't disappoint them.
On one side, I like the peaceful image of the natives, but if necessary, the warrior image. I'd say it's very brutal. The natives had brutal times, but I think it was not if it was necessary.
Legislators are shaped by culture, and if those stereotypes drive legislation, then policy is captured in those stereotypes metaphorically. If words are used as barometers of those metaphors, then education as preservation could be called hegemony. Education as imposed salvation can be called subaltern, and education as assimilation can be called extinction. If you rename hegemony with Pocahontasism and subaltern with Tontoism, the post-colonial lens can then metaphorically understand when policy drifts away from self-determination. How do superintendents and principals interpret the implementation of NCLB in the Common Core? How many future legislators will have attended camps like that in Real Engine?